Hello and welcome to this week's video, and what have we got for you in this week's Hi-Fi news, etc. Well, we got some trivia, which I'll do in a second. After that, Hi-Fi news, of course, and after that we've got Under a Ton, which looks at products priced at under £100 each. Finally, I'm going to have a little look at a vinyl club, one of those things where you pay a subscription and you get some vinyl through the post on a monthly basis. I'll be looking at one of those a little bit later on. First up though, trivia. Now last week we looked at a sort of home economics theme. Well, all change for this particular week. I'm going to be looking at, maybe this week and next week actually, I'm going to be looking at history. And I'll give you a question, but I might also include a bit of a bonus question. So 2 in that case. Hey. Here they are. And we'll start with, who was the British Prime Minister of the 19th century who gave his name to a psychedelic album that went on to become a big hit? And while we're here, can you name the 20th century Prime Minister whose surname is also the title of the album by Everything But the Girl? Now, as ever, I'm trusting you on this. No Google, please. Just have a bit of a think as you're watching through this video. No internet research on this one, if you don't mind. So, have a little think, see what you reckon. Get to the end of the video, I will give you the answer. Until then, let's start with Hi-Fi news. For our first news item, we're looking at a bit of an update from the Swiss-based speaker company Piega and their all-in-one hi-fi system. The entry-level, well, entry-level for them, as you'll find out later on when I give you the prices, the entry-level Ace wireless system, which now adds Apple AirPlay 2. The addition of AirPlay 2 is a long-awaited function for Piega or prospective Piega customers, allowing Apple users to play their favorite music directly via an iOS device and also use multi-room streaming. Now, if you're an owner of the Ace wireless system, then you too will benefit, as all TX variants will be enabled for Apple AirPlay 2. An over-the-air update automatically brings the latest firmware to the speaker, providing, of course, you have a Wi-Fi connection. And in case you don't know, this series includes the Ace 50 wireless floor standing speakers and the compact Ace 30 wireless bookshelf speakers. Common to both models is AirPlay 2, sure, but also Google Chromecast, Spotify Connect, including Spotify Hi-Fi, Bluetooth, and the integration with Roon. HDMI eARC allows the connection to your television, and through WiSA, or is it WiSA, you can enjoy home cinema with up to 7.1 channel surround sound. In a bit more detail now, the Ace 30 speakers feature a 120mm bass mid-range driver, the Piega AMT tweeter, digital signal processing, and a 100-watt amplifier. Now, I wasn't given prices for the 30, but expect to pay somewhere in the region of £2,000 for the system. The Ace 50 wireless floor standing speakers offer a 3-way design. In addition to the AMT tweeter and the 120mm mid-range driver, you also get 4 120mm MDS woofers. Again, I wasn't given any specific prices, but expect to pay somewhere around £4,000 for the system. And as ever with the Hi-Fi news, etc., I will put down below some links if you want to learn more. Next up, we have the Genesis GX from Silent Angel. This is a new word clock for use with your digital system, and it features 4 separate clocks inside the one chassis. Now, why do you need a word clock? Well, firstly you do, and most of the time a word clock is built in to your digital products. Word clocks help you to synchronize your digital device, your DAC or whatever it might be. The more devices you run, the more important word clocks are, because a clock will tie everything together. If it's done badly, then you will hear distortion. If it's done well, sound quality shoots through the roof. The more accurate and precise your word clock is, the less drift there is, which will lower the accuracy of the music played. And you thought digital was digital and ones and zeros couldn't be changed. Hey, tut tut tut. So why is an external word clock a good thing? Well, because internal models share the resources in the typical chassis. They share the same power supply. They share the same circuit board in many cases. All of these things conspire to interfere with the clock signal. Now, of the 4 clocks inside the Genesis GX box, 2 are the normal 10 megahertz models, but the other 2 are the higher end 25 megahertz models. All 4 of these clocks are isolated from each other to reduce noise. Even the chassis itself features isolation, consisting of 2 skins. The inner skin is made from steel. The outer skin is made from aluminium. Why 2 skins? Well, they help to damp vibration and control eddy currents. The company even makes a big deal about its resonance damping feet that sit underneath. Where else? According to the company, the whole thing is run by a high-end switch mode power supply. Price? Well, nothing firm as yet, but I have heard an equivalent price of around £2,800. And if you think that's a high-end price, wait till you hear about these speakers from Sonus Faber. So, Sonus Faber has announced the 4 Homage Collection loudspeakers. Now, this collection was initially debuted back in 1993. The 4 new models include the, and this is where I'm going to struggle with pronunciation, the Guarnieri G5, which is a 5th generation, that's a 2-way stand mount. The Serafino G2, that's a 3.5-way 2nd generation. Also the Amati G5, that's a 3.5-way 5th generation design. And you also get the 3-way Vox G3 3rd generation center channel speaker. The 4 Homage models will be available in red, and is it Wengi? Someone tell me how you pronounce that name. And also graphite. Improvements have been made to the bracing and porting system for this family of speakers. The Amati and Serafino models benefit from a new, more efficient 150mm natural fiber mid-range driver, while the Serafino's bass driver has also been updated, but this time with a new coil and spider material. Amongst the Amati's benefits include a new 220mm bass driver and 2 separate ultralight CCAW voice coils. Tuning of the Guarnieri's 150mm driver has led to improvements in control and has tamed resonance right down to 15 Hertz. Oh, and you get new crossovers. Prices? Well, hold on to your wallets, folks. The Guarnieri G5, that will cost you £13,000. The stand on its own is £3,200. The Serafino G2, well, that's £22,000. The Amati G5 is £30,000, and the Vox G3 centre speaker is a mere £14,000. As ever, if you'd like to know more, there's a link below. Next up, under a ton. First up, we've got a bit of a vinyl storage thing from Glorious. It's called the Glorious Record Box 55, priced at £32.50. This is a pretty simple, straightforward storage solution made from MDF. Available in two finishes, black and white, the Glorious 55 is able to hold 55 12-inch records. Surprise! I would say this one is quite useful if you fancy doing a bit of Lego building and want to construct a complex vinyl storage shelving shape. Or let's say you have a bit of a weirdly shaped nook or cranny that won't hold a standard set of shelves, but it might take a few of these. Next up, well, £10 will buy you the Pro-Ject Brush-IT. This is a basic carbon fibre vinyl cleaning brush that's very useful to remove loose dust and gunge in the vinyl grooves. Now, if you have no other cleaning solution, and let's say you're on a strict budget, this is the best record cleaning option because it will remove loose dirt and it'll reduce pops and clicks, and it'll also help to reduce static. Now, even if you own an expensive record cleaning machine or an ultrasonic machine, this brush can be useful to quickly remove loose dust on the vinyl surface. So even if you have a record that you know is properly cleaned, but you just see that light dust covering it, it's ideal for that. And finally, another one from Pro-Ject. Well, they're full of these accessories, aren't they? This one is called the Damp-IT, and it's priced at £20. For your £20, you get a pack of 4 thermoplastic feet, or TPE if you fancy. These are used to isolate and damp any of your hi-fi components. So that means things like your turntable, or CD players, or your DAC, amplifiers, even your speakers. So putting these under your hi-fi kit will help to reduce vibration, the stuff that can turn into high frequency noise that will veil subtle detail during playback. You can place any component on these feet weighing up to 20 kilograms. And finally, we have a new little segment called Vinyl Extra. And in this first Vinyl Extra segment, we're going to be looking at a vinyl record club called Vinyl Moon. Based in the US, specifically in Los Angeles, Vinyl Moon is an independent monthly vinyl club for, as the company would have it, the, and I quote, the musically curious and artistically adventurous. Well, that's me all over, isn't it? What that means is that you receive a regular compilation album from a host of new and varied artists. So it's best if your tastes are eclectic, shall we say. Genres I've noticed include indie rock, indie pop, electronica, beats, and the like. So there's that musical discovery thing going on. Just as important though, and some might say more important, is the packaging that surrounds this music. So you get the physical disc, of course, which has been pressed on some interestingly coloured vinyl, And that often arrives in very complex sleeves. Not all the time. Sometimes you just get a gatefold, but sometimes Vinyl Moon go all out in their complexity. There are additional goodies too, so you may get a patch or a slip mat or some postcards. So what's the price? Well, a monthly membership will cost you $31. Now, if you go onto the website, the Vinyl Moon website, and you see older discs and you think, I quite fancy having a listen at some of those, well, as long as they're in stock, you can buy them. Costs slightly more, $34. The club itself has been running for some time now. 7 years, I reckon. The vinyl volumes themselves, well, they're up to number 87 now. So Vinyl Moon has been going for quite a while. So let's take a closer look at one of those compilations. I'm going to pick one called Lost and Found. This is a 10-track compilation featuring artists such as the New York-based Eagle-Eyed Tiger, the Bristol, UK-based Brecken, John Mint from Chicago, and Los Angeles' own Julia Bloop. The sleeve, as you can see here, includes a very complex fold-out design, and it looks rather wonderful. More than that, however, this latest collection uses so-called augmented reality artwork via an artist named Tyler Weitz. Using a link which is supplied on the vinyl package, you can download an augmented reality app onto your phone, connect it to your phone's camera, then point the phone's camera at the art on this particular LP and watch it spring into action. It's fascinating to point this app at different pieces of art on the sleeve just to see what will happen next. I do have a second release here. That is called Mental Wealth, and that arrives in a rather more straightforward gatefold sleeve. It includes 9 tracks on intriguingly coloured vinyl, and you also get a protective inner, and I like the Vinyl Moon logo on that inner and the Vinyl Moon sticker on that sleeve. A nice touch. And watch out for the QR codes which will be present in the actual package. Access those for more information on the artists themselves. This is a vinyl club that celebrates new music, which is wonderful in and of itself. The more outlets we have for new music, the better. More than that though, Vinyl Moon celebrates vinyl itself and everything that surrounds it. The club plugs into the ownership experience of the physical format. In effect, for $31 a month, you're given a party in a 12-inch sleeve. Check it out. And again, I'll put a link for Vinyl Moon down in the description. And before I bid you farewell, trivia answer for you. But let's quickly give you that 2-part question. And it is, who was the British Prime Minister of the 19th century who gave his name to a psychedelic album that went on to become a big hit? And also, can you name the 20th century Prime Minister whose surname is also the title of an album by Everything But the Girl? And the answer for that psychedelic album is, of course, Benjamin Disraeli. The 1967 Cream LP, Disraeli Gears, was so called thanks to a mishearing during a conversation which referred to derailleur gears on a bicycle. The 1984 Everything But the Girl album, Eden, had nothing to do with the post-war Prime Minister Anthony Eden, whose primary distinction was that he was the most handsome man who ever held the office. Although, let's be fair, he didn't have much competition. And that's it, folks. Thank you very much for staying to the end of this video. I hope you like it, and there'll be more on the way next Friday. Can you, down below somewhere, down there somewhere, if you can click on the like and subscribe button, it will just help this channel to grow, helps the algorithm, all that kind of stuff. Down there too are other links, firstly to my Patreon page. If you can support me on Patreon, that would be great. Check it out, because there's all kinds of exclusive stuff over there. Stuff you'll only find on Patreon and will never leave the Patreon page. That particular page also funds this channel, keeps it going. Other links down below in the description include my Facebook group and you're welcome to join that and my website page, and there's all kinds of stuff over there you won't find here, so check out that as well. I will be back Sunday with something glorious in hi-fi terms, and I hope to have your company then. Until that time, folks, bye bye for now.